Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. I want to thank all of our listeners from all over the world. Please do subscribe and share if you're not already. All right, let's get into it.
We are in the house. We are live. How you doing, brother?
I am putting in my neck implant currently. Oh, okay, I'm plugged in. Live and direct.
Man, on some real shit, I have this weird thing that's just in the past couple weeks. Periodically, my left shoulder will just. You'll have like a that's like twitching. It's not that. It's something different. It's like a regular signal, and it'll happen for like 5 minutes, and then it's gone. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? It's like sending out a signel. Am I downloading something? Am I uploading something?
Both.
The struggle is real.
Reloading something.
I know it's communicating with something for some reason.
Are you a Black Sabbath
and you can
fan?
feel it just clear as day. You can't. Am I what?
Are you a Black Sabbath fan at all?
Oh, absolutely.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Absolutely.
When I first met you, didn't realize. Now I can't forget you. Open my eyes. Oh, Lord, yeah.
The fucking sweet leaf.
It's pretty sweet. Most of them.
Speaking of the sweet leaf, I'm being neglected over here. My hair's setting up a grill so people can come out here and cook for dinner for me, and anybody's trying to smoke any weed with me. It's been a weird day. It's been an interesting day. I've spent more time on stereo today than I think I have in a long time.
Whoa.
Woke up this morning and I saw No Show was live with something about, I don't know, it was a generic title that Stereo gave him. And I clicked on it. I'm like, what the hell is this? He was running a test doing a simulcast with Spoon and wanted me to hop on real quick and help him test the sound. I'm like, okay. 4.5 hours later. So shit.
Wait, to simulcast? So doing a video?
No. Well, I mean, Spoon, I don't know if you're familiar with. It's similar to Stereo, right? Yeah. It's similar to Stereo, kind of, sort of, not really. I mean, it's a social audio app, but it's more for the host. My biggest hang up with it is the fact that you have a chat room. Like, people can try and call in and get on the phone with you, similar to Stereo, but you don't have to let them on. You can do it by yourself. You can play your music, do your whole deal by yourself. But the thing is, you have a chat room going. And I'm notorious for ignoring the chat room.
See, I like that.
I get onto a topic and I'm just go with it.
But then, but it's nice to be able to do. It's nice. See, I like that. I don't know.
Well, it was the. I think what you're reaching for is to get more people involved. To hit multiple platforms at once.
I like interaction is where I was trying to go. Now, is it only a chat room? So you've got to respond back to like in text?
Well, I mean, you don't. I mean, I'm the host. I can read the comment and respond to it live, but
okay, so that's kind of a little bit annoying. Well, I guess that's more like a radio show, I guess, right? Where they do have like from Desert Fox,
right,
right,
and they do have a feature where you can appoint people in your chat room to be managers of the show, of the chat room.
Now, see, here's where we should
start. Crucial feature for me.
Here's where we should start our own app, bro. or get
Okay.
stereo to fix it, right? It should be a combination, right? Because I love that people can leave vocal interaction, but sometimes you get a chatty Cathy or something, and you're like, okay, no more messages from that person, right? So it's great that you can read the messages from stereo now, but they don't have a live chat room, right? And
Well,
it
yeah, it's
should
like an
kind of be.
anti-troll feature. Yeah.
They should kind of have a live chat room and the voice message option, right?
I would enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would enjoy that much more.
I think it should come through as like the person should be able to leave it just as a message, or if they want, they should have the option of it being a vocal message, right? Like, because some people are
Mhm.
or whatever, shy or whatever, they don't want to talk, but most people want to hear their voice, right? Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
they
Happy
have some.
motherfucking Friday.
The, well, I mean,
Almost forgot
the
to
other
tell
hang
you
up that
that.
I had with it, the other hang up I had with Spoon is it was a much younger audience, not exclusively, but majority. Kids that are into ASMR and I mean weird shit that you
Now,
come on this
what
room.
the fuck
Some of these
is
rooms are fun.
ASMR? What the fuck
It's audio
is a
sensory response. It's happy feelings, vibes is what it
right,
boils down to. Audio
right, right,
sensory stimulus response.
right? Welcome to the Apathy Network, where you
And
can
I
just
mean, it's
feel,
weird
where
shit.
you could
Like
just
people will
feel
be on there.
good.
People would go on there and just do like some dumb motherfucker popping bubble wrap, and he'd have
It's
30 people listening to him. I'm like, what the
it,
fuck is this? It's
dude, it's
creepy.
weird. It's weird, and I think it's a sign of society's demise.
I take it as a sign of I'm just not from this planet, so I can't relate. I don't, does it make sense? We talked about this. We touched on it last night. They can't handle the truth.
They can't handle the
There's
truth, man.
every single day there's a something that reaffirms in my mind. Okay, yeah, you're from the Pleiades. That's why you don't get it.
Right. Oh, are you
Damn
talking
human
about me?
jokes.
Oh, wait, you were talking about me?
No, I don't know. Are you a human?
No, I thought you were making fun of me because you were making those darn human jokes and I wasn't getting it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Millennials are assholes. We got Eric
Well,
Echo folk in the house.
they kind of are because they're just apathetic, right? And like they should be out there on the front lines of everything, but they're just apathetic, cashed out on their cell phone. You know, like,
I feel like a lot of millennials are on the fence. Like they would rather be considered not a millennial. Like
well, yeah,
I've heard people
they don't get to fucking
say,
choose though.
I don't know. I get more of the traits of the Generation X or the Generation Z.
Yeah, well, I could
It's
see
funny.
that. If they're like black blocks, then I could see that. What I'm saying. But if
I'll
not,
cut
then
that.
fuck you, poser. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think even my generation, I'm generation what, X? So I think
X.
even my generation's fucking lame, like, right? Like the boomers protested kinda, I think, for a minute, and then once they were 40, they didn't. And my
I mean, how
generation,
many generations are before the boomers?
what's that?
How many generations are before the boomers? Like, did we just start the alphabet at X?
Well, no, and that's the thing, right? Is because
And we,
we got to go all the way back to the 1930s to the labor wars, right? I'm
Right.
trying to plug. I'm trying to plug in my technology, but I don't know if it's working, and I don't know if I have batteries, and I think I need my laptop. And God damn it, it's exhausting. You know, I need a 14-foot USB-C cord. God damn it. Know what I mean? Do you ever feel like that?
I was just in a room with Worm and Groovy Gay Jesus and No
No
Show,
way. No
and
way.
they were talking about how old is the Earth.
Oh. 100 million
I'm like,
years.
well, I mean, really,
Well,
this
no.
is an opinion piece
Well,
because we don't have the hard facts.
but we're okay. So that's not even that interesting of a conversation, though, right? Because we're told how old the Earth is, but how old are humans? That's fascinating because we've been here for millions of years, but they don't tell us that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a game that I played that on Xbox. It was really along this conversation. The premise of the game, which was called Mass Effect,
Can I
was
interrupt you for 1 second?
yeah.
How do I sound?
You sound good.
Okay, cool. Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, and the premise is the United States government, whoever. I mean, one of the governments on the planet. We discovered. We got to the moon, and we found a fucking ship on the moon. We brought it back. We were able to trace it back to this other civilization that was like 27 million years old, and they were so much further along than we are. And we reverse engineer their technology. Fast forward 50 years, we find another planet. We find not only is there other people, other civilizations, but there's 12 of them that rule them all, called the Council. And we're
The
kind of
one
fast forwarding
that
into this.
rules them all.
Yeah, and well, I mean, one of the things that you learn in the game is that not all these races are all that chill with humans, because you start to learn that other races live 750 years. This race, they might live 2,000 years, like per life, per body. And they see that we only live to be like 80, 90, maybe 100 years if we're lucky. So, and all these other civilizations' mind frame, their mindset is that, well, humans are reckless. Like, they have such a small window to make their mark on the
Yeah,
cosmos that they're
they do
reckless.
big moves, broad
They don't
strokes,
really
right?
think shit out. Right. We got to get it done before we die.
That's how I feel, man. Dude, I just
And
turned
it makes
50.
me,
Just
I
turned
can't,
54, and I've never felt more that way.
well, yeah, I always joke around about it, but I always like to say we're going to live to be, at least 250. If the Bible can bring out 600, 700, we can make at least 250.
Nah, I'll be around for about another 10.
Oh,
Maybe
damn.
20. Maybe 20.
Oh,
Hey.
damn. And you're good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. But I feel that urge to like put out some shit. I need to write a book. I feel this like there's a fire under my ass all of a sudden, right? And that's biological. So I hear it,
Yes.
right?
Is it biological or is it time?
Or
Is
is
it
it ego?
just time? Like the full moons in the next couple of days, you're going to get another new download.
No, I'm not talking current. I'm just talking big picture.
Right. Well,
Like
I mean,
this is how I've been feeling for like the last 3 years.
but it's growing though. It's getting bigger, isn't it?
Oh, horribly so. Yeah. With the sea level, it's growing. It's growing with my mushroom head and the sea level. It's a tremendous sea level rise. We're going to have brand new irrigated golf courses in the middle of Arizona and New Mexico. Just you wait. Trump Towers. Fantastic.
I'm still excited about that. The 22nd. It's going to happen. Only a couple days away. It's probably going to be extremely underwhelming, like every other thing we look forward to.
Well, I hope not. Always remember the 5th of November. And while you remember the 5th of November, get the fuck out there on August 22nd. Just saying. Just saying.
It's going to be a fun time.
Should be a fun time ahead. Bye, all. So, funny thing, I went by the farmer's market. They were sold out of eggs. Oh, my God. Oh,
Well, that's by design too. I mean, all the fucking what did you send me today? All the food comes from basically 4 companies.
4 companies. 4 companies produce all of our food. 90% of our food. Isn't that insane? Talk about monopolies. And they have it every step of production. Every step, including distribution. Insane. So our government sold us out long ago. Both of the 2 parties they're both drinking the Kool-Aid, right? So when was the last time one of the 2 parties spoke out against a war?
Did they ever?
There you go. There you go.
Ever?
So they're ultimately in bed together. They're selling us out down the river. They're sending your daughters and sons off to war for corporate profit, I might add, because all the wars have proven to be bullshit. Illegal, I might add. So what the fuck are we fighting for? What are we fighting for? What are we? When you wave an American flag, what does that mean? To me?
It means you're naive. It means you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Exactly. Well, but I'll go even deeper. Do you know what it means to me?
What does it mean to you?
It means you condone the fact that Texaco dumped all that oil in Ecuador and was totally busted for it, paid no fines, slap on the wrist fine, $1 million. They paid $1 million. They destroyed square miles of pristine rainforest
for chump change.
For chump change, and it's still causing lymphoma in people there, and they haven't responded. A lawyer volunteered to fight Texaco, and in the craziest thing that I've ever heard in my life, and this is wild because I've heard some crazy shit, the lawyer that was fighting Texaco got his license revoked and got put on house arrest. He's got an ankle bracelet. I forget his name. I think it's Dylan something. But it's a horrific case of fascism, of a corporation doing what the fuck it is going to do just because it has the power to do that.
Well, I mean, not just because. There's a narrative behind it. There's always a bigger plan that most people can't see.
Then let's look at BP, the BP oil spill, right? So they should have been forced out of business, but they weren't, right?
Yeah.
They were fined. They were fined something like $2.8 million. Like, are you kidding me? That's like not even 1 year's profit. Like, you should fine them 10 years profit. At least fine them out of business, right? Like, you're banned from doing business in the United States. Fuck off.
Well, they can't do that because they get so much. The United States, in particular, it gets way too much money from these companies. I
We
think
don't
they are.
we don't need
I
it.
think
We don't need it,
they
dude.
pull the
What is
strings.
money? We print it. What is money?
Money is the root of
Zeros
all
and
evil or
ones.
something.
It's zeros
Money
and
is a
ones.
man-made construct, just like time is.
Zeros and ones, bro. Zeros and ones.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
My
It's a
one of my
concept.
one of my biggest things that I want to be able to do in my life. I'm not sure what it's going to be called. Desert Fox Day, Awesome Sauce Radio Day. I don't know. But on that day, nobody on the planet's going to spend a single penny, shekel, anything.
Right. That would be a dream come true, right? Stop the machine day.
Stop the machine day. Quit playing Monopoly.
I'll
At the
help
end
you.
of the day, that's all we ever do.
Dude, I'll help you fight to make that a fucking at least a leftist holiday.
I don't want a left or a right. I want humanity. It's going to be
But
label free.
Well, but I'm not even saying. No, I wouldn't put a label on it. But I'm just saying, certain people are gonna be like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fucking communist, whatever." But it circles around because libertarians would be all about it, and far left people would be all about it. So it circles around both sides.
It would circle around because I mean, all the people who fight it, go ahead and fight it, and then you're going to see what happened the next day, the next week, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, that was actually a good idea."
Because, dude, I'll be the first person to say it. The Democratic Party is full of shit. But so is the Republican Party. The Republican Party has always been full of shit.
Two heads of the same fucking beast.
Of the same snake. You know what my analogy is, bro? Like, when you go to a concert in a big auditorium, it doesn't matter what door you leave from, right? It goes to the same fucking hallway.
Exactly.
That's politics in the United States. Exiting a concert. Doesn't even matter what door you go out, you're going to come into the same thing, which is, hey, corporate slutdom. Welcome. We sold ourselves for really cheap because guess what? It's taxpayer money. Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Because it's taxpayer money. The struggle is real. The hoax is real. And we got into this conversation earlier today, this morning, when I was in with
the
No Show.
propaganda is not real.
So check this out. Check out this. I think I just lost it. There was a thought process of, are we? God damn, there's too many things going on. I'm gonna get it back.
Fill your space out, bro.
Right? Oh, that's what it was. He asked me my opinion of woke culture. He said, "What do you think about the woke culture? What do you think any of that means?" And I said, "I used to think it was a positive. Everybody's waking up, but the woke culture doesn't use the term waking up. I'm awake. I'm aware. Woke culture is something completely different." He said, "Completely different from what?" So, well, I think that there's the new ageness, from the 80s, 90s. It's become this enlightened culture. And you have the enlightened and you have the woke. And the woke people still are in line to get the next pair of Jordans or the new iPhone. Like I I'm a little gray as to what they are, but they're not that. Does it make sense?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. No, I feel you. And I think woke would be millennials because they're trying to be enlightened. But while they're in an Uber, on Facebook, on Twitter, on their way between two bars, they're all of a sudden they're going to be woke. So they join like 350.org.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then they just go get hammered, and then they take an Uber somewhere else. And like, are you really woke? Because you just fucking petroleumed your way all around town and consumed consume, royalty, entitlement. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, do you see what I see? That we are living in the last hours of, like, Babylon burning.
Yeah, the last hours of the old world.
Yeah, like Vegas is just like, people will find the remnants of Vegas and they'll be like, "Oh my God, look at what these people did." Instead of harnessing their resources for sustainability and to exist, they created like altars to themselves.
Well, I mean, I recently got to go to Vegas, and I have to say, short of there's a 2 to 3 mile radius that's just weird. And
but the whole place just should not exist.
Well, I don't think that's.
It's the Colorado River.
I don't think that's here nor there. Before I went there, and maybe it used to be different pre-coronavirus, but and me and another friend of mine, that was our first time there, and at one point, day 2, he says to me, "Vegas is pretty cool." I said, "You said that kind of sarcastically." He said, "Can I tell you something? I expected hookers by the droves trying to chase me to my hotel room. I expected sleazy. I expected what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, baby." And this seems like
that's how they lure you there.
I've ever been to.
That's how they lure you there to spend all your money.
I know, but it's when you're there, it's every other fucking city you've ever been to. It reminded me way too much of Phoenix.
San Francisco's a fun city.
I'm just saying, everything that Vegas does, we have right here in the valley. And
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's nothing special, and it shouldn't exist. And it's a symbol of just American excess.
Is this like Sodom and Gomorrah?
Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm trying to find.
Sodom and Gomorrah?
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, bro. Bro. Exactly. They'll be like, look at these sinful, narcissistic motherfuckers. That's what people will be thinking when they find the ruins of Las Vegas, right? Not like a city that was trying to just get by, but like, okay, where's your farming area? Oh, shit. They didn't even have any farming area.
They have huge farms in Vegas. Like I said, the Strip is one thing, and then you have the old Strip, which is way cooler than the new Strip. Let me tell you that. Vermont Street. Oh my God, we took mushrooms and we fucking just tripped out on Vermont Street. It was, before I went there, I couldn't have explained it to you. Seeing a video, I couldn't
have explained. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to the state of Vermont?
I have not. And you know what?
Dude,
I don't know if I think we kind of had this conversation a little bit, but as far as legal marijuana and medical marijuana and that whole process that we're still continuing through, Vermont's the only one that ever did it right.
Well, so what I'm talking about is you need to take a road trip to Vermont, and then I want you to go camping with your lady on mushrooms in Vermont, and then I want you to talk to me Vermont versus Vegas, and I think we're going to be on the same page, bro.
Are you from Vermont?
No. Fuck no. But it's just everything's green. It's just like, like life, like earth.
You can
like
legally.
Everything's alive and living, and you go to Vegas and there's nothing alive, right?
I mean, I'm from Indiana.
There you go. So you know what I'm talking about.
Parts of Indiana that are just redonkulous. Like,
there's parts of the rains in the summer, right?
Oh, we get stupid storms in the summer everywhere. You can't avoid them in any part of Indiana. But I mean, just the trees and the the way they change colors in the fall and in the winter. But in Vermont, they have they went through legislature. They didn't put it up for a vote. They didn't ask anybody, hey, should we legalize weed? How should we go about that? They wrote it up to where you can legit grow 24 plants in your front yard. You can trim them to look like dinosaurs and cool stuff, and literally just have them.
Why shouldn't you be able to? George Washington was all about it.
Well, I
Ben
mean, that's what they
Franklin,
did. They made it a plant. They made it a
Ben
legitimate
Franklin was all.
weed. It's right there next to dandelion in Vermont's rules.
There you go.
It's not taxed. It's not
See,
regulated. You can't
even
sell it in
here,
stores. I mean,
like even here in California, it's crazy. You can only have like 6 plants in your backyard. Like, really? Not supposed to last me a whole year? Wink,
yeah,
wink.
but they hide it still. I'm talking about you can just have it.
Yeah.
Front yard, backyard, wherever. We got 2 messages. Juan's in the building.
Hey there.
Dave, what's good, bro? I got my CPAP machine, so I feel like a fucking human. I haven't had it since I've been on this, since I first came on this app. That's how long I haven't had a working CPAP machine. I feel good, and sorry, I didn't remember your names. I'm gonna give you a salute to your co-host in a second.
Sorry, Juan, I'm just being a dick. No, Juan, good to hear from you, bro. I'm glad you got your CPAP. I think I need one of those, dude, because I definitely, do you just, is it like you just forget to breathe every once in a while, and then all of a sudden you're like, because that's what I do. And so I think I need one of those.
They use a term called disease, but really all it is dis-ease. And it always has a cause. And we come up with, especially in Western medicine, not just the United States, but the entire fucking Western medicine is retarded. We have a machine, we have a pill, we have not here's what's wrong. Maybe you need more of this in your diet or less of that, or maybe
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mr. Fox, because I got me a cure for anything that ails you, and it's called a slap upside the left side of your head or a slap upside the right side of your head. Just depends on what's ailing you. Which side I smack you on? Maybe you need a punch in the jaw. I don't know.
Well, I mean, an uppercut's extra. We have to charge extra for that.
That'd be about $15 on the top.
Juan coming up online too. Maybe. Survey says no. But
Mine Fox, how you doing tonight?
kudos, brother. You got it right. A lot of people are like, Focus? How do you say that? What's going on with that? A lot of people just call me, some people will just not even try. They'll just go, hey, Mr. Mind.
No, he's down.
Call me David.
He's down. He's on our team, bro. He's got our backs. He is, yep. We can count on him. When the time comes, we can count on this lad. Let's just say that.
So Juan, you gonna live in the compound with us when we go live off the grid and build our own fucking city?
Organic, regenerative farming.
Motherfucking
What's up,
America.
fellas? MFA here. How you doing? Here to listen a spell. I can't handle the truth. I can handle the truth, but most people can't handle the truth. I will concur with that. Yeah.
And that's a plague in this fucking world right now, is that people pick and choose. Okay, here's the truth I'm going with. I'm gonna roll the dice, put my money on red COVID, put my money on black vaccine, put my money on fuck it, let's go run and hide in the woods. Put my money on. There's so many. Put my money on masks. Put my money on the fucking CDC.
Well,
People
how
have
do
a
you
fuck
know?
and
How do
they
you know?
take advantage.
Because they're throwing all this shit at us, right? But what trips me
What?
out is when people choose sides about what information they'll take, right? Like, oh no. Like
Exactly.
I've had people tell me like, oh no, that's your info. Like I'm like, dude, no, that's not my information. I'm recommending a documentary.
And
I didn't make it.
if it's a documentary, I'm leery of that. I mean, there is,
Sure,
don't get me
because
wrong, self-made shit. But I always,
anybody can make a film. So what
I
is
always follow the money. Like,
exactly?
Ancient Aliens. I used to be a huge fan of Ancient Aliens, and then one day
Oh,
I'm like, here we are in season 6, and you're talking the same shit you did in season 1, and you start to look at these people's credentials, and short of Giorgio,
zero
Giorgio Cooper
credentials.
is a crazy man. But short of
Zero,
him, all the other people on that show are paid by
zero.
him, paid by History
They're
Channel
they're
to give their
wingnuts.
spiel.
They're
So
wingnuts
they
that have
do
written a book based on nothing,
exactly.
and then they just, like you said, they just repeat the same thing, and then the History Channel cuts it and loops it and sound bites it, so you hear the same little bits and clips and cuts, and you're like, what the fuck? That's from like that
There,
other episode. Like, what the fuck?
there, there is independent contractors who make these, like Thrive. I would recommend Thrive to every person on the planet Earth. You need to watch that movie. It's a documentary about how they reverse engineered an engine for an alien craft out of magnets.
I would love to talk
Um,
more about that. Let's listen
great,
to Mickey and then
great
come back
movie.
to that.
And
Okay.
another thing. Hi, long time no here. See, here. Whichever one makes more sense. Anyways, how you doing? How are you two lovely gentlemen doing? I forgot what I was going to do. Or say. Or think.
Wah.
That's the key there in a nutshell, isn't it? Is it Miki? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think you hit the bullseye. You forgot everything, so that's perfect. Like Zen has been attained.
Somebody asked me earlier today, why do I podcast? What is my passion? Why did I want to do this? And it made me really think, because a lot of people are in a niche. Like I'm in a niche. I am. The cannabis market. I just got a call today, an email today from a new app.
Not a bitch, dude. You're
No,
totally
but I
not a
mean,
bitch.
I didn't say
Oh,
a
I'm
bitch. I
sorry.
said niche.
My bad.
Like people have niche markets, like niche. Maybe I should say niche market.
I was playing with you.
Well, there's people that have one little thing. I want to teach you how to do makeup. I want to teach you how to do this. I'm going to get my money. And
Right.
I didn't come here for money. I came to the space because there was a need for the information. I'm
That's
at the
why
end
we
of the
found
day
each
just a
other,
fucking
brother.
super nerd. And people ask me, why do you podcast? And all I could say was, I think that the only reason I podcast, what I'm really at the core of what I want to what am I going to provide to the person listening, is what he said. What do you provide? Why should people come and listen to you? And I said, I'm going to give you so many sides of a story that it's going to make your head spin. And he said, why would you do that? I said, because all I really want you to do is think something new. A lot of people hit a point in their life where they get a question answered, and it leads to 50 more questions, 30 more questions. Fuck, now I got this answered. Now I got 25 more questions.
Exactly. And for the people listening that don't have 25 questions, go take a half a gram of mushrooms and then the questions will come. They will come. Take them on a new moon so you can see the stars, right? Because then you realize how insignificant we are.
And not insignificant, because I believe that we picked to be here right now. Specifically,
we are greatly
and me and you, because we're star seeds. We had an agenda.
We're greatly significant, but there's 42 other things going on right now up there.
Simultaneously, yeah.
right now. Yeah, but you and I are here. We are starseeds. We found each other here on this weird, crazy network, and we have all these crazy things in common. That like Mr. Fox and I, we met right here on stereo. Yes. And but the commonalities are just like beyond bizarre, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we've charted 3 so far.
I mean, there's not a lot of preachers' kids doing what we do. You're the first one I've met.
So that's one. So we're PKs. We've both seen a UFO more than one time.
Well, I didn't even get to tell you about the cool one, like the most significant one. We went up to Solo, Arizona to look at some property. And this guy, I mean, I was ready. We had the money. We were about to buy it on the spot. And he gave us directions. I was on the phone with him several times that morning. And then we got there and he was like, let me know what you think. I'm in the area. We could do this today. And then I hit him back and I hit him back again. I hit him back again. I'm like, I have the money in my hand. Let's do this. But anyway, we got somebody, it was a week out. We're telling people, yeah, we're going to be busy that day. We're going to go up to Sholo. And one of Tammy's friends said, hey, can I tag along? I'll even drive. I was like, word, he's going to drive? So we let him drive. So Joe is a Native American. He's a born-again Christian. And when I say that, it's not lightly. He's a Bible-bumping, he's a Bible thumper. That's what I'm looking for. He's a devout Christian. So, yeah, and
but in the good sense, right? In the best sense.
I mean, he knows who I am. He understands at least half of my story. But we're on our way back down the mountain, and it's night. Sholo is close to New Mexico, eastern Arizona, and we're coming down the mountains into the valley, and it's dark enough that I'm like, look at that, Joe, that's a fucking UFO right there. Those are aliens. And we've already had the conversation that he doesn't believe in aliens, like God said this and that about aliens. I'm like, okay. And I'm fucking with him the whole way. Like, what if check out that one. That's not flashing like a plane. That's not flashing like a plane. And we get into the valley and we're on the 60 going west, coming back into Phoenix, coming through Mesa, just barely into Mesa. And Dave, not one, not two, but 3 of them. The closest one to us, I could have literally got out the car, picked up a rock, and thrown it and hit that motherfucker. It was that close. And they were, I would suspect, hovering about 8 stories off the ground. They were giant walnuts in the shell. What that looks like, but they were bright fucking orange. And there was 3 of them. One of them was higher than the other 2. The closest to us was probably the right of the triangle. And these things were huge. We weren't the only cars that were like, what the fuck is that? And they were just sitting there hovering over the 60. Could have been bigger than 6, 7 stories, but they were huge. Like, they were like office buildings that were floating in the sky. And they looked like, I can't make this shit up. It looked like a fucking walnut in the shell.
You're talking about Highway 60 in Arizona.
Yeah, in Mesa, East Mesa.
Okay. Just checking.
There's like I want to say a refinery there of some kind. There's a stretch of, you'll see these big giant pipes that come out of the ground, probably 2 or 3 stories, that there's fire coming out of them.
What was the weird thing? What was the weirdest thing that happened?
It was, What was the weirdest thing that happened? I mean, when he saw it, he looked at me, and I'm like, dude, look at the road. And you could see it in his eyes. He had a spiritual experience. Like, he knew that's a goddamn spaceship. I say, you didn't even say UFO. You went straight to those are aliens.
Dude, can I tell you my story?
Okay. Well, let's get this message quick. We got a couple of messages, or one message.
Let's get them.
Francie in the house.
What's up, guys? You can't handle the truth. This sounds like fun. What's up, and another thing? It has been way too freaking long. How are you?
Frenchie, what up? Yeah, I've been, it's been a rough year. Been struggling a little bit, to be honest, so I'm trying to be back, but I'm not completely back. I'm still dealing with some stuff, but coming back.
So, your story.
Yeah, man. So check this out. And it's funny because the first half of my story, you'll completely discount it. But then the second half, you're like, oh, snap.
You know me. I'm not.
So, I was a total punk ass teenager, right? And I grew up in this town called Novato, California. About, at this point, I was living about maybe a mile and a half as the crow flies from an Air Force base, a huge Air Force base, Hamilton Air Force Base, where when I was in third grade, I actually got to meet President Ford, right?
Back up. You met President Ford?
Well, he like touched my hand. I got to line up in line. They put the kids first, right?
Gerald fucking Ford.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
was a trip. And I don't know anything about his politics, but whatever. That was a weird experience.
He saw UFO. Him and Jimmy Carter, I believe, saw the same one at the same time.
Oh, shit. So then here you go. All of a sudden, I'm 14 and a half. 14 years old, right around there. And Pink Floyd The Wall is playing at the local movie theater, right? So I go to see it with about 20 of my best friends. And we send the chicks in to like pay, and then then they opened the back door and we all snuck in the back door, right? Because we were like that kind of punk.
Right.
But whatever. Good harmless fun.
It's teenager shit, right?
Yeah, good harmless fun. Nobody got hurt. Do what you got to do. Watch a cool movie. So, but little did I forgot to mention, we dropped acid before we went. About an hour beforehand, right? So we go in, and all of a sudden, like, as soon as I walked in, I'm tripping balls. Like, oh my god, dark theater. Then the fucking, it was just all way overwhelming. And then I watched Pink Floyd The Wall, just like, wow. Like, are you kidding me?
I saw Pink Floyd light show. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's sick. So then it's over. I come out the back door, right, to go home with my best friend, Nick, and we're walking, and we hear this. It was weird. All of a sudden, dude, right above our head was this UFO, like right above our head, like fucking 25 feet above our head. And it was egg-shaped, right? Like a landing capsule, like bigger at one end than at the other end, right? And covered in lights, but you couldn't hear anything. It was completely silent. And I thought we were still just tripping balls because we're tripping balls, right? And then all of a sudden I hear...
Am I making this up? That's
exactly.
Funny.
So I look at my buddy, and he looks at me, and we're both like, I don't know, man. And then I hear, oh my God. And I look over, and here's this old lady out on her lawn in her bathrobe, wearing fuzz. I remember it like it was yesterday. In her bathrobe, wearing fuzzy slippers with curlers in her hair, and
Oh
she
shit!
was looking up at the sky and pointing. And then we looked
Shit
at
and
each
kidding.
other again, and we're like, "Oh, fuck!" Like
It's
she
real.
wasn't supposed to see that.
Ah,
we thought
she's
we
not on
thought we were
acid.
just we thought we were just tripping.
Well, I mean, how often does that happen where you are sharing a trip with somebody else, sharing a visual with somebody else? Um, I I only had one real. I mean, I've seen
2 or 3
wavy
times in a
lines.
lifetime.
I've seen things that melt. I mean, we could get into shared dreams, but I've seen things that melt, wavy lines, colors. But one time, I was in junior high, and I will never forget this day. Um, my friend Tommy had these sugar cubes, and he was like, "Here, you want a sugar cube?" We had no discussion of what was in the sugar cube.
Oh God.
I ate 2 of them, and he was like, "Dude," I was like, "Was I only supposed to take 1? Like, they're sugar cubes." And he was like, "No, I mean," and I was oblivious. And they explained it to me what was going to happen, and I see you not, probably 45 minutes, almost an hour went by, and we're in school, um,
If it was a
7th
sugar
grade,
cube, dude, it was like
and
10 minutes, 20 minutes later.
we're walking down. We're walking down. I didn't feel a fucking thing. We're walking down
But
the
you
hallway,
don't. But you
right? We're
don't
walking
because
down the
it's so
hallway.
clean.
I know. We're walking down the
So you
hallway,
were
Dave,
high. You were high within
and
10 minutes, but you didn't even
this
know.
I didn't even know. This motherfucker, um, Bugs Bunny, Dave. Like, there's 3 of us. I'm in the middle, and the 3 of us are walking down the hallway. Lockers on either side of us, and Bugs Bunny fucking falls out of the ceiling. And he's like 6'6", maybe 6'8". He's ginormous. And I can feel the temperature of the breath. And he's like, eyes red. And he fucking looking right at me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I stopped, and everybody else stopped. And this is according to their stories. And he hit me so hard right in my face that I went sideways and fell to the ground. I could feel it when it happened. And they were like, the force, I don't
What?
know what that was. I don't know
So
what
what
happened,
hit?
but
So
they
what hit
tripped out on
you?
it because, yeah, but they tripped. I got a fucking bruise. I got a
Nobody
fat lip.
knows what. Nobody knows what hit you.
Nobody knows. We were walking down, and Bugs Bunny, I shit
Whoa.
you not, fell out of the sky and punched me in my face and then bounced. And they were like,
What did you
who cares about
do?
Bugs Bunny? I'm trying to tell them, no,
What
I'm
did
trying to tell them what just happened. And they're like, dude, you just went legit sideways
Bro? What did you
and
do in
then
your
fell
last
to the
life?
ground. It looked like a cartoon the way it happened. And I'm like, what? And I'm telling him what happened. And it became a topic for months after that. Like, what the fuck happened that day? Like you said, did I get hit? Like, really? I mean, it couldn't have really been Bugs Bunny. What the fuck? Who the fuck? But no,
Yeah, why did your
we
buddy clock you like that?
no the 3 of us, and I was kind of ahead of both of them. I remember it like it just happened 5 minutes ago.
Did you
It's
just
the
bang one of their
craziest.
sisters?
Neither one of them had. One of them did, but she was like, yeah, that would have been bad.
Right?
She was
Because then
like
that would have made
7.
sense why he would have punched you in the head, right?
No, I mean nobody.
I'm just looking for something that would totally be like over the top common sense. But no, it's not. It's
So
not
I
like
mean, there
that.
was
It's not that
real
kind of
quick,
story.
real quickly. I'm going to say this, and then we'll take this next message. But there has been other times in my life that people have been hit by nothing. Me and Foxy got really big into ghost hunting, right? We were all about all the shows, talk about documentaries. The first ghost adventures. Um, when you hear the backstory about Aaron, and how he used to do. He had just fresh out of film school. He was doing these NASCAR documentaries. This was paying way more, and so he was like, "Ghosts, whatever. Ghosts aren't real." And then they went into this place and they did their first lockdown, and Aaron Goodwin famously left, told them, "Fuck you. I don't even want the money.
I'm
Fuck
out.
off.
Yeah,
I am
I'm out."
out." And he got, in his own words, possessed that night. Not to where he needed an exorcism or anything like that, but he had, he describes her as an old Indian woman that makes him be single. He was in a long-term relationship with, and anybody who he's intimate with, this fucking old Indian woman comes out and fucks with him. So, I mean, but fast forward, the fucking Travel Channel got a hold of it, and History Channel got a hold of it, and Discovery, and they're like, dude, no, it has to be a package deal. So they fucking kept throwing money and kept throwing money and kept throwing money at Aaron Goodwin until he agreed. Okay, I'll come back. I'll do it. Because I actually now I have questions. Fuck. So we're in the shower one night. We have an SB7, we have a millimeter, we have a K2.
You and Aaron Goodwin?
We went out and spent money on, me and Foxy, we went out and spent money on all this shit. I wanted to have what they had. And I've signed package deals. A lot of the shit comes from Australia. But regardless, we had been doing a lot of it in our house. And we had paranormal investigators come and do our house, and they flipped the fuck out. They made things happen that we didn't see yet. But that's another story. One day, me and Foxy are taking a shower, and I'm under the water, rinsing out. She's fucking soaping up her hair, and I don't even remember it happening. I remember coming out of it. I collapsed in the shower, like all my energy just gone. And as she's trying to pick me back up, because apparently I hit my head, something uppercutted her in her face and made her go back. And her lips swelled up instantly. It was like bloody. I'm like, what the fuck? We both jump out the shower, soaking wet. I grab my SB7 and start screaming to the thin air, who the fuck just did that? And my SB7, the spirit box, it's like a ghost hunting device where they could talk to you real time. There was like 8 voices that were like various versions of, it was Steven. Steven did it. Steven did it. It was me, fucker. I'm like, what? Steven, get the fuck out of my house. And I'm screaming, top of my lungs. People can hear me a block away.
What a trip.
What
the fuck? All right, so hold that thought. We got to play this message, and we got to come back to what the fuck is this box that you're talking about? That's fucking...
Frenchie will make it all better. Does that sound good?
Love it.
Oh, Frenchie. Oh, Frenchie. Oh, Frenchie. Oh. Yeah, all better sounds really good because everything is going to fucking hell.
Right?
So, where were you, sir?
The box is, it's called an
SB7. In the box.
SB7. SB stands for Spirit Box.
Oh, sorry.
It flashes through radio stations at a rate of, and it's measurable. You can move the rate between a measure of 150 stations a minute to 350 stations a minute. So to guarantee that you're not going to get a full word from a radio station, and it flips through them. And it's a learning curve usually for a spirit. And I use that term loosely because I don't think they're ghosts anymore. I used to believe in ghosts. I don't believe in demons, but I think there's a 12-degree of separation, like between the first dimension and the 12th dimension. And some of them can get close enough to us that are like, let's fuck with them. They're looking for, interaction. Let's see what we can do to fuck with their world. I mean, what if it's interdimensional beings? What if it's the multiverse? What if it's...
Come on. If you could, wouldn't you?
High enough. I mean, you've never seen a Mayan body. You've never seen a
Dude.
Mayan gravesite. You've seen
Question.
evidence of the Mayans all over the planet.
Question.
You know, I mean, okay.
If you could, wouldn't you fuck with somebody? Like from beyond?
Yeah, I mean, and you know what
What the
really
fuck?
made me think about it is
What
we
the fuck
talked
el-
about,
what-
you know, the whole Cersei thing. You said for
What
the last
other-
3 years,
What
I've had
other
a reason.
entertainment you got? Right?
Yeah, but you said, like, yeah, but I mean, think about it. For the last 3 years, you've been on a, God damn it, there's something I'm supposed to do, and one day it's going to be revealed to me, right? There's
Yeah,
a
hopefully.
service that I'm here to
Yeah.
provide to the world. I feel the exact same way, and it's like during that time, what if we had a soul group, and what if that soul group was people from our own planet, like cousins, friends, neighbors, people that are in our corner that are like, hell yeah, I'll come support him on this, and they're vibrating higher than we are because we're in our physical form, and they're probably not. And
Or what else?
what if they're
but
always
maybe
with us?
different levels. Right.
Yeah, and sometimes people will ask for ghosts to come, and ghosts just come. Is that because, I don't know, the Ouija board's evil, and because, or is it because there's people always with you who came with a team, you're going to leave with a team?
All right, thanks for tuning into another episode and another thing with Dave. Please follow, subscribe, and share. I'm on all social media and another thing with Dave. And keep seeking the truth.